I'll start at verse 6.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Mm-hmm.
See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass.
Right? All these things, it says, so those that believe, those that would hear the words of Christ, hear the voice of God, right? To those, he say, y'all don't be troubled, right? Because everybody else going to be troubled. Oh, no, they're going to send the bombs and they're going to. No, the Lord said all these things must come to pass. For our deliverance, all of that has to happen. We read about it all the time. We talk about the 2/3 of Zechariah 13, the bomb, the nukes, ICBM, all of this. But a lot of us are troubled in the days that we've been studying about, that we live in now. A lot of us are troubled in that. All these things must come to pass. These wars, rumors of war, all these things must come to pass. But our Lord commanded that we be not troubled. Right? Read on.
But the end is not yet.
But the end is not yet. Go ahead.
For nation shall rise against nation.
So nation shall rise against nation, right? Commonly known as World War III, right? Or World War. Go ahead.
And kingdom against kingdom.
Come on.
And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places.
Come on.
All these things are the beginning of sorrows.
All these things are the beginnings of sorrows. Come on.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Right. So it says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Right. For my name. And I like to think a little bit. I like to think deep, and I like to pay attention to every single word. Read the next verse.
Verse 8. All these.
Not verse, no. Verse 10.
Verse 10, excuse me. And then shall many be offended.
Right. It says, and then shall many be offended. Because of the wars, rumors of wars, people being delivered up. It says many gonna be offended. And many gonna be offended. And why would many be offended? Right? We come back to that. Read on.
And shall betray one another.
And shall do what?
Betray one another.
Go ahead.
And shall hate one another.
And shall hate one another. Why? What does the wars and the rumors of wars and the pestilence and famine, what does that have to do with us hating one another? What does that have to do with anything? Ain't that weird? Anybody ever thought about that? What you got?
Yes, Cap. I was thinking how Christ told us to prepare for all these things, right? With as far as our storehouses, and if we got, and everybody in our family or friends know we got, but we're not sharing with them, that could cause some type of division. That will cause division and hatred.
That's right. That's one way. That's one way. True indeed. But for those that didn't listen, didn't prepare, right? They don't believe also. They don't believe. Christ said this. Esau might say, no, everything, because who's saying peace, peace? Who's doing that? Esau saying that. The Lord ain't talking about no peace. From the beginning, he said he's a man of war, but the nations are saying peace, peace. There's a ceasefire. There's a this, and there's a, so-and-so is flying on over to talk diplomatically to this leader or this, and then, okay, so they're going to come up with some solution, and they're going to work it all out, and they're going to protect us, and we're going to be safe and out of harm's way, and nothing is going to happen. That's what they talking about. The Lord from the beginning said, there will be war. There will be war. And if you're looking for the return of the Messiah, what is the Messiah coming to do? War, to make war. To make war. So we supposed to be looking for that. That peace stuff, we ain't supposed to be. That's malarkey to us. That's hypnosis. They trying to hypnotize, rock you back to sleep. As far as us are concerned, right? Read on.
Verse 11.
Hold on, read verse 10 again.
Verse 10. And then shall many be offended.
Come on.
And shall betray one another. And shall hate one another.
And shall hate one another. So Officer Amir brought up a good point. Some that didn't believe is not going to prepare, right? They're not going to prepare, and it's going to show. It's going to show, right? Like I say it a lot as of late. Esau, I just found out, I didn't know. I thought Esau actually thought the world was going to turn into zombies. Y'all, how many of y'all thought that? They got the zombie preppers. Y'all know that's code word, right? That's code for people who ain't preparing. That's what that's code for. I never knew that until like few months ago. No, they're talking about people who didn't prepare that's going to be begging and in need of help and all of that. That's what that means. They ain't talking to you. They're going to kill you. Them little targets that you can buy with the zombie for y'all to shoot and practice, that's code word. That's slick talk for unprepared civilians. That's what that means, right? I just found out too. I said, Esau is he like 10 steps ahead of the game. Listen, and he ain't play. For that. Hey, Esau. I'm gonna leave it at that. But that's what that's going into. Zombies is the people who are unprepared. All right. Where we at? So it says, many shall be betrayed, shall betray one another, and be offended and hate one another. Right. So I want to examine this a little bit. Let's get Baruch chapter 4, verse 28. Baruch chapter 4, verse 28.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 28. For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned, seek him 10 times more.
You see how I said seek him 10 times more? All of us were at one point without the light. We were on the outside, as I like to say, outside the purple doors, right? At one point, the other side of the camp sign. At one point, all of us, right? And it was our mind. All of us had, with that being said, all of us had something that we were seeking real hard with all that whether it was the fancy car, the big house riches, not worrying about bills, this and that. All of us had something that we were seeking to that level with all that we had in us. Every one of us, a degree. Some of us going to school for a degree, what have you. Our lives was dedicated to that. Right. And everything that we did for whatever it was that we needed to do, like a lot of us signed up for college. We ain't know how we was going to, what the bill going to look like. You just like, I worry about that in 20 years when it's all done. I worry about that. You didn't even give your mind to be as concerned about what Esau can do, because y'all know student loans don't go away. Right. That don't go away. A lot of bills go away. That one don't. Right? So, but even with that, ain't nobody give a damn about the ramifications, repercussions, all that. It was like kamikazes as far as college was concerned, right? Just dive in. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. And everything that we did was to aid us in that endeavor. Everything we did, the little side jobs, the little hustling, the little this, the begging, everything, the suffering, ramen noodles every day. And nobody's broker than college people. I've seen it, and it is strange. I've never understood it, Personally, I've never understood it. But I'm talking about, this is bad. It's like the most sophisticated hobos I've ever seen in my life. Our college people. I'm just saying, sorry if you college people. I'm sorry, but I've seen it. All right? I can't unsee it. Anyway, everything that they do in such dire straits is to support that endeavor, to go hard and continue in that, right? Until the end, right? So when the Lord says, read it again, verse 28.
For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned, seek him 10 times more.
Right. So in us returning to the Lord, sometimes we forget how hard we went. For all this, and I'm not saying college is stupid. But for all this less significant things in our lives and eternal lives that we went so hard for, we forget that we forget how hard we went. We forget what we gave our mind to, not work. Listen, we had more faith, more fearlessness in being destroyed by the promise of not being able to pay that bill. Right? Didn't worry about how we gonna make ends meet. Didn't worry. I'll beg for somebody's ramen noodles every day or twice a week. It was the mindset of a college student is very, very homeless like, right? And it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It didn't even matter. It was what it was. It is what it is. I'm doing this for the goal. I got a purpose. I have a vision, right? So we go hard. We do it. Some people was in the streets and it was, I don't care. They're gonna have to kill me, or you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it. Didn't have a mind of what's the worst that can happen to me. Didn't even think about that. Didn't even care about that. Never crossed your mind until after you like, yo. I was wilding. That was crazy, right? So the point is, everything or most of the things that we did and went so hard for in the world that was completely wicked, completely evil. We've lost that same sense of, sometimes we can lose that same sense of severity when it comes to this truth. We forget that hustle that we had, that drive that we had, that fearlessness that we had, the faith that we had in doing those things, right? Read that again. Then give me Baruch 2 and 4 after that.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 28.
Uh-huh.
For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned, seek him 10 times more.
Uh-huh. All right. So now give me Baruch chapter 2, verse 4.
Baruch chapter 2, verse 4.
Right. So I want to go, matter of fact, don't give me that yet. Go to 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 7 first.
2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed.
You see that? So, like I stated, before this truth, we all believed in something that was unpromised to us. It was unshown to us. But we had faith in it. We had faith in it. We believed in it for some reason. A lot of us seen so many other people or nobody really succeed in the same path, but still went so hard in it. Still did it. Still did it. Don't really know no success stories doing it, but I don't know. It's just what I'm supposed to do. And we fight for it. But in this thing that we have, that we all studying, praying, applying ourselves for, right? We're growing weaker. I'm going to just say it. I wasn't going to say that until the end. We're growing weaker. The reason why we started in Matthew chapter 24 is because it states that offense, that being offended, is offended in Christ, offended in all the things that we would go through. Oh, I've been working, so I'm tired. Oh, I'm sick, so I'm tired. Oh, I'm this, so I'm tired. And if you notice, all your tired adds up to don't come here. Don't do the work that. Now, I'm not just talking about in this building. I'm talking about in the truth, the things that we got to do. Teach the people, flyer missions. Sisters got their works and things like that. All those things, all of our tired adds up to don't do this work. It don't add up to change stuff out there. That's the offense that we read about in Matthew 24 that will come in the end. And I want everybody to pay attention, because in the days to come, that will grow more and more and more and more and more. I will be remiss not to warn you of those things, because all of us has to fight it, me, myself included. The bishop has to fight that spirit to not get offended. Read that again. And then give me Nehemiah chapter 6:13.
2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land.
So we all got to go through the perils that we read about, the pestilences, the wars, the being offended. Some of us going to die, be imprisoned. Everybody's going to go through that. Y'all understand that? You can run, you can hide, you can say, I'm not an Israelite, never was. I hate all of those people. Your ass still dying. You still going to prison. You still going to starve to death. You're going to go through all of that. All of it is still going to happen. That is the one thing promised to all men. Death. Death. But the Lord promised us that we will be saved from all those things. We still going to go through it. But what's better? You go through it to come out a victor, or you go through it to be destroyed and never come out of the other side of it? You wake up in hell. You go through all that to be, what do you call, not annihilated, what's the other word? Evaporated by a damn bomb. Lived your whole life a nigga. Know what it feel like to live with roaches. Understand what it's like to get your lights cut off, your gas cut off. Understand what it's like to not understand what's going to happen tomorrow, how it's going to happen. And then you go to hell forever after that. Yeah, two-time loser. That's right. Two-time loser. Really more than that, because our ass has been in captivity so many times. So many times, right? Read that again from verse 7.
2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works.
By his what?
His works.
By our works. By our works. So notice Christ warned us in Matthew 24, many shall be offended. When the pestilences, the COVID-19, the SARS, all that stuff, right? When all that stuff pop off, people going to fall off. It's going to happen. It's come to try your faith. And some people's faith is not strong. It's not built up. And that's okay, as long as you continue in the faith. Just continue. Pray to the Father to increase your faith. Stay around the brethren. Right? Read on.
And by faith, whereby ye have believed.
Whereby you have believed. Right? Go ahead.
Shall be preserved from the said perils.
The said perils are what Christ warned us of in Matthew 24. The pestilences, the betrayals, all the things that we're going to go through, that we have to go through, that we've already been through. We'll be saved in all those things if we continue in the faith with our works, right? Read on.
Shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land.
Come on.
And within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning.
All right, now let's get Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 13. 6, verse 13. Again, this is to warn us, all of us.
Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 13. Therefore was he hired, that I should be afraid, and do so, and sin, and that they might have matter for an evil report.
So who knows what's going on here? Anybody familiar with this story? Nehemiah, what's going on?
Shalom, leadership. What's going on right here is that we had the person, I forgot the ruler name that was over us, but he allowed us to go back and rebuild the temple. So in rebuilding the temple, they was trying to scare Nehemiah off from rebuilding the temple. They wanted to help with us building the temple. We told them, no, we got it ourselves. And they was trying to interfere with all our building the temples, our attempts to build a temple. But Nehemiah was like, no, I'm not having it.
Exactly. So the sin was what?
Fear. Him not continue to build the temple.
And stopping the work. Stopping the work. Nehemiah 4, verse 6. Nehemiah 4, verse 6.
Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 6. So built we the wall, and all the wall was joined together onto the half thereof. For the people had a mind to work.
For the people had what?
Had a mind to work.
So the works. Now, why do we have this story? We have this story to encourage us that there's a nation that must be rebuilt. And it's to be rebuilt by our hands. There's work to be done. Let's prove that. Give me that in Haggai. Give me that in Haggai. 14.
Verse 14. Haggai chapter 1, verse 14.
Then just read that first, then we're going to jump back.
And the Lord stirred up the spirit of Zerubbabel,
Come on.
the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and the spirit of Joshua, the son of Jehozadak, the high priest, and the spirit of all the remnant of the people. And they came and did work.
Did what?
Did work
Come on.
in the house of the Lord of hosts, their God.
Right. So the work that we are to be done is in this house. Everything else is to go back to verse 4. Everything else is to supply this house that our hands can do. Now, we're going to go back to Nehemiah too. I didn't want to go through some of that history because it's a lot there. But I want to show y'all that those resources and the things that we use to do the work that the Lord commanded we do, that the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, right? That was Nehemiah, brother Nehemiah. That's who that was. It was King Cyrus. The Lord stirred up the King Cyrus's spirit for us to go and rebuild the walls and the people of Jerusalem, keep our commandments as the Lord commanded they be kept, right? And where, right? And everything that it took to build that, we brought back to Jerusalem. So yeah, brothers had to go and get things and procure and work and labor to bring it back to build up the people. Watch this. I'm going to show y'all something. Yeah.
Verse 4. Is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses, and this house lie waste?
Right. So the Lord's house, our people, our kingdom, it lies waste. It lies waste. It's torn down, it's broken down. The Lord told us that this kingdom does not come with observation, right? But it's within us, meaning within what we do, within our works, what we ourselves must build. It don't come just sitting around waiting for the kingdom. We just sit here and wait long enough. If I just wait and don't commit adultery, I just float on into the kingdom. If I just wait and don't murder nobody, I'll just float on into the kingdom. If I just sit here and don't steal, I'll just float on into the kingdom. Ain't that what the Pharisees did? Ain't that who Christ told? The kingdom cometh not with observation. Meaning you don't sit and watch it. It's within you. You got to build it. Your hands going to do it. Your hands going to do it. Right? Read it again. Matter of fact, start at verse 1.
Haggai chapter 1, verse 1.
Go ahead.
In the 2nd year of Darius the king, in the 6th month, in the 1st day of the month, came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet unto Zerubbabel the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and to Joshua the son of Jehozadak, the high priest, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, This people say, the time is not come, the time that the Lord's house should be built.
Now, why would people say that the time has not come? When should the house of the Lord be not built? When? If it's an eternal, it's forever. His kingdom is eternal, right? We all hope for and seek for eternal life. Never die. So when should the house of the Lord not be built? So we all understand that's folly, that's foolishness. But what were the people more concerned with? The affairs of the world. And this was Zerubbabel saying, Zerubbabel and Joshua saying, it's not time yet. We got to wait for the wars to get more calm and this and that, and conditions ain't perfect right now, and the time ain't really set. So the Lord had to stir their spirit up, meaning check them. Correct them. What the hell is wrong with y'all? What you mean it's not time for my house? Your house built. The house that you in prison in right now is built. The only thing you concerned with is maintaining that house, maintaining that kingdom, that power over you, which is no power. That's your only concern? Read on.
Verse 3. Then came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet.
So Haggai, the Lord had to send Haggai to check them. Like, listen, y'all brothers ain't moving right. Y'all the mightiest men in the nation right now. Y'all ain't moving right. Y'all ain't moving right. Go ahead.
Saying, is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses, and this house lie waste?
Come on.
Now therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways.
Consider your ways. Consider your ways. Let's go back. Let's go back to Nehemiah. Chapter 4, verse 6.
Nehemiah, chapter 4, verse 6.
Come on.
So built the wall, and all the wall was joined together onto the half thereof.
So when we reading this, a lot of times we just think, okay, the wall was broken. They had to build. No, this is a similitude for the nation, the people, the spirit of our people being brought back to life. The nation being reconstructed, the kingdom of heaven, which is the people of God, being rebuilt. We are the house of God. We must be built up. That work must never stop. It must never stop. That's sin. Read that again in Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 13.
Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 13.
Come on.
Therefore was he hired, that I should be afraid.
Sanballat was hired, right? That Nehemiah should be afraid by death threats, right? Which some people going to be offended by false imprisonment, which some people going to be offended by offenses in here, which some people going to be offended by, and stop the work. That's why the prophets, the apostles said, hey, what should separate us from the love of God, from the love of Christ? Shall famine, shall persecution, shall death? That's why he said that. What we gonna do? What else we gonna do? Live a nigga and die like a roach? What's our options? We've been to the bottom already. We can either stay here or go up. Go ahead.
Therefore was he hired, that I should be afraid,
Come on.
and do so, and sin.
And sin. Go ahead.
And that they might have matter for an evil report, that they might reproach me. My God, think thou upon Tobiah and Sanballat.
Come on.
According to these,
He
their
said
works.
destroy his enemy. Destroy them. Go ahead.
According to these, their works. And on the prophetess Nodiah. And the rest of the prophets that would have put me in fear.
So this was who? This wasn't just the enemy. This was Israelites. This was Israelites. It's going to happen again. It's happening already. So when Christ said, many shall be offended and betray one another. Them wasn't strangers. Them wasn't Esau coming knocking your door down. You an Israelite, you going to prison. No. That's not what we're reading about. Of course, that's a variable in that whole thing. But all of that think about it like this. I say it all the time. When we got an Edomite up in here, it never happens. How many of y'all hang out with Edomites? It never happens. How many of y'all got them up in your house chilling? It never happens. So the betrayals that we read about is going to come from within. It's going to come from in here. And it signify what will signify those spirits are those who stop the work. Stop the work. Go back to, go to, give me Judith. Give me Judith chapter 5. Give me Judith chapter 5, verse 20 first, right?
The book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 20.
Now, y'all familiar with the black codes? Pull up what I sent you, bro, that link. I sent you a link earlier. It's about, y'all know what the black codes is, right? Now, when we came out of slavery, right, let's start with when we were in slavery. Yep, that's it. When we were in slavery, we were kept working from sunup to sundown. It was so much work that what else could you think about? You couldn't think. Your mind could not go anywhere else. Your mind could not think on anything else. And then to boot, if you were caught with something that was different or contrary to the captivity that you were in, you'd be put to death, i.e. the Bible. The Bible, right? Reading. Things that would have it to where you learn. You can understand something different than what just your oppressor is teaching you or telling you or subjugating you to, right? Go back. Bring the thing up. All right. So when that was done, so there was years and years and years of slavery, and then there was years and years and years of this. But what's so significant about our mindset, right? That these people would do such atrocious things, but under the guise of, we don't hate you, we don't. It's just, it's better for you. It's good for you. It's not a crime. It's not evil, right? Even this, I don't know if y'all know, even this is not considered evil to Esau. They don't apologize for this. This is good. Otherwise, you niggas would be shiftless. You niggas would just, you're welcome. That's how Esau sees this. But watch this. It says the black codes, sometimes called the black laws, were laws. I need you to stay with me. The black codes, sometimes called the black laws, were laws which governed the conduct of African Americans, free and freed blacks in 1832. Free or freed. Think about that. In 1832, James Kent wrote that in most of the United States, there is a distinction in respect to political privileges between free white persons and free colored persons of African blood. And in no part of the country do the latter, in point of fact, participate equally with the whites in the exercise of civil and political rights. Although black codes existed before, jump down, go down. Just want to get to the point. Oh, go back up, go back up. Okay, go back down. Stay right there. So it says, since the go to the top of it. There you go. Okay. So since the colonial period, colonies and states had passed laws that discriminated against free blacks in the South. These were generally included in slave codes. The goal was to suppress the influence of free blacks, particularly after slave rebellions, because of their potential influence on slaves. This was the issue with these niggas is reading something contrary to our subjugation. These niggas are learning or have the ability to think to free themselves, or to think that what we're doing is oppressive, or to think that no man should be dealt with like this. It's hard for us to consider now because we not, our backs ain't whipped, we watching our brothers and sisters die and such horrible things happening right in front of our eyes like that, to this degree, to the degree of chattel slavery. But this was the reality back then. This was the reality. You couldn't think of anything else. Nowadays, we ask the question, how did one white man do all those Negroes like that? How? That's a conundrum to us today. That's crazy as hell today, right? But it was because of the level and gratitude of of the work, of the oppression, of the murder, of the death, and all that. Your mind couldn't do nothing else but think on those things. Be afraid. When you done when you done getting your ass whooped for the day, how am I got to get enough rest to have enough energy in the net to tomorrow to get my ass whooped again and not die from it. So where do you have time to think on how wrong this is? What life should actually be like? What did you actually do to deserve this? Why is nobody else going through this? Are you really just a colored, just a Negro? Are you something more? Right? When would you have time to think on that? Go back to it. It says restrictions included prohibiting them from voting, right? Because think about it. This president or this leader is about these politics, right? Those politics could help us. Those politics could soothe our issues and our people and our things that we go through, right? No, you don't got time for that. You can't think on anything else, right? That wasn't for Negroes. That was for Esau, right? So that was voting. Bearing arms, meaning protecting yourselves, right? Gathering in groups for worship. But we did gather in groups for worship on Sunday. This is a black code. You can't do that. You have to come to Esau to worship. So where's your mind if all of it is under Esau? It's under his rule over you. Where's your mind for your people, yourself, your freedom, your liberation? What's good for you? You didn't have your own mind. We didn't have our own mind, right? So it says, and learning to read and write. These are codes. These are not just some masses didn't like it, so they'd be mad as hell at you. No, these are black codes. This is law, federal law. The purpose of these laws was to preserve slavery in slave society. That's bullshit, right? Slavery in America. Was that it? Go down. Let me see. Go down. The Constitution amendment had to happen to remove it from it. Crazy. All right. But I think that was it. Organs. System. Yeah, that's what I want. Go back up. Watch this. Watch this. Go back up. I'm going to start with, I'll just read it all. It says, in the first 2 years after the Civil War, white Southern Democratic legislatures passed black codes modeled after the earlier slave codes. The name black codes was given by Negro leaders and the Republican organs, according to historian John S. Reynolds. Black codes were part of a larger pattern of the Democrats trying to maintain political dominance and suppress the freed men, newly emancipated African Americans. They were particularly concerned with controlling movement and labor of freedmen, as slavery had been replaced by a free labor system. Although freedmen had been emancipated, their lives were greatly restricted by the black codes. The defining feature of the black codes was broad vagrancy law. Who knows what broad vagrancy law is? You could not be caught doing nothing. You could not be caught on the porch with your feet up, drinking some tea or some lemonade. You could not be caught doing that. That was the broad vagrancy. If you are in public scene, relaxing, chilling, whatever, your ass is going to jail. And guess what you get to do in jail? Work. You go back to the plantation, whether you're freed or a freeman, as they call it, meaning you weren't born into slavery, right? Read. It says, which allowed local authorities to arrest freed people for minor infractions and commit them to involuntary labor, meaning prison. This period was the start of the convict lease system, which is still under operation today. It says, also described as slavery by another name, by Douglas Blackman in his 2008 book of this title. All right, that's all I wanted. So the reason why I wanted to go here is because these people understand what it takes for us to come back to who we are, what it takes for us to rebuild the walls that are broken down, meaning the people that are broken down. These people know. Make no mistake. Yes, some of them dumb as a box of rocks and missing teeth. True indeed. However, those that make the legislation, those that have the authority to pass these laws, they understand exactly who you are. They understand exactly what would happen if you get your mind back. If you bethink yourselves. If they ain't your God. if you understand they're not your source of food, shelter, money, like the curses state, but God is. Watch this. Judith chapter 5, verse 20.
The book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 20.
Come on.
Now, therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
So it says, if there be any error in this people and they sin against their God, this is what their ruin is, right? Now, what do we just read about in Judith? What do we just read about in Judith? I'm sorry, not in Judith, in Nehemiah, about stopping the work. Now, again, I'm talking to my people up in here. We got work to do out there, but I'm talking to us up in here, the laborers, right? Those that are in the vineyard of the Most High. Us right up in here, right? What do we just read? What is it when we stop the work? It's sin. It's sin. It's sin. Now, what we just read about in the black codes, the black laws, that was crazy, right? That wasn't the first time. In every captivity we've been in, those laws have been in full effect. Full effect, right? Watch this. Damn, did I write it down? Give me, let me see if I can find it. Give me Baruch chapter 2 real quick. Baruch chapter 2. I'm going to show y'all something. Baruch chapter 2. Verse 4. Baruch chapter 2, verse 4.
Baruch chapter 2, verse 4.
Watch this.
Moreover, he hath delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms.
To how many?
All the kingdoms.
Come on.
That are round about us, to be as a reproach and desolation among all the people round about, where the Lord hath scattered them.
Right. So who have we not been in slavery with? This kingdom learned how to entrap us and enslave us from the other kingdoms. They know exactly what our power is. So what we're reading about in antiquity in Judith, this nation knows and understands by the same means we know and understand what is our destruction, how it is that we're destroyed. In fact, they learned it before we did. Now, if it is that we've been enslaved to all people, to all nations, right? What do you think you're better at, ruling or slavery? Slavery. That's a natural thought. That's why we hate each other like that. That's why we so good at hating. We got to fight. God got to set it as a commandment. No, love your brother. Love your brother because I love them. And if you hate them, if you hate who I love, my friend is what? Or what did it say? My enemy, what did it say? A friend of my friend is a friend. But the enemy of my friend, the friend of my enemy is my enemy. Did I say it right? That's it, right. Thing confusing. But that's what the Lord is saying. When he tells us, if you hate your brother, you hate me. I love all of y'all. Y'all my children. How you going to hate your brother but call yourself loving me? That's mine right there. I love him. He's not my enemy. But we've been in all these captivities. How good do you think you are at slavery? You are a master. You're a master. Sirach chapter 39, I'm sorry. That's why this is so easy. That's why this feels so good. That's why it is that you brag about this. We, our people, I mean. This is our confidence. We so confident in this. 39, start at verse 1.
Sirach, chapter 39, verse 1.
Come on.
But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient.
Come on.
And be occupied in...
And be what?
And be occupied in prophecy.
This is what... Which one of us is supposed to be this way? Who can... Say it again? Every single one of us. Joshua 1:8 real fast, then we coming right back. Every single one of us. I want y'all to do this math. Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. Go ahead.
This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
It says day and night. Day and night. But hold on now. If you under oppression, if you under slavery, if you under the black codes, the black laws, right? If you under the heavy foot of standard for you, which is if you ain't living like Esau, you ain't doing nothing, right? Then how can you meditate day and night on this? How can you be occupied in the laws? How can you be occupied in the prophecies? How? It's impossible. It's impossible. He knows that. He knows that. Read on. Was that it on that?
No, sir.
Read on.
That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
Now we read that and we be like, okay, so keep meditate on the commandments, right? Meditate on the prophecies, all that stuff, and then plus do the. No, that's saying if you're not doing that, you're not going to be able to keep the commandments. Read it again, y'all. Tell me if I'm lying.
This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
The book of the law is all you supposed to be speaking. Read on.
But thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
You got to meditate. What does it mean to meditate? To think on. To think on. To think on. And if all you can do, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So if the book of the law is in your mind, then that's what you're going to speak. And if it's what you speaking, it's what you're going to what? Do. But if it's not, you ain't going to do. It's not going to happen. And in your mind, you just put the fringes on your clothes and we good after that. Oh, no. Au contraire, mon frère. There are men that can see right through it. Straight through it. Watch this.
That thou mayest observe to do.
Once you can meditate day and night, then you can observe to do. Come on.
According to all that is written therein.
According to all that is written therein.
For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous.
For then the Lord shall make your way prosperous. Come on.
And then thou shalt have good success.
And then thou shalt have good success. In these days, we got it backwards because we've been subjugated to so many slaveries, so many slave masters, so many oppressive kingdoms and nations. We're better at being slaves than what we just read. That's a simple, everybody in here would say that that's simple, what we just read, right? Yeah. But we're better at not doing that. We're better at following Esau, his standards. That's why a lot of us went to college. I'm not saying nothing wrong with going to college. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying that's why a lot of us went to college, not to do this or that. No, a lot of people, and I've spoken to a lot of people about it. And most of them, I say 95% of everybody I've spoken to about college says this. It's just what you do after high school. You go to, elementary, middle school, high school, and then college, and then that's what most people say. Well, yeah, but why? You know what I'm saying? You can get arrested for not going to high school. You know what I'm saying? They can hit you with the misdemeanor for that. You can get arrested for not going to middle school. They can hit you with the misdemeanor for that. But ain't nobody ever been arrested for not going to college. What you mean you just have to? Because that's the status quo, or that's what this society says. That's what this society says. And whether or not college make you or break you, this society is richer based on everybody going to college, whether you win or lose from it. You made this place rich. We're going to get into that. Was that it on that? Go back to Sirach 39 if that was it.
Yes, sir. Sirach, chapter 39, verse 1.
Watch this.
But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High,
come on,
and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient.
We'll seek out all the wisdom of all the ancient. Meaning the prophets, meaning the prophecies. Come on.
And be occupied in prophecies.
Come on.
He will keep the sayings of the renowned men.
You see that? That man that has given his mind, that woman that has given her mind to being occupied in the laws of God, meditating and seeking out the wisdom thereof.
All right, read verse 2 again.
Sirach, chapter 39, verse 2. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men.
The renowned men, those are the mighty men. Those are our forefathers. Like the one we just read, Joshua 1:8. That renowned brother, what did he say? Day and night do I meditate. Those are the things that we got to, the sayings that we must keep. Read on.
And where subtle parables are.
Now, where the subtle parables going to be? Those are going to be amongst the renowned men that exist now. They're going to be amongst your leadership. They're going to be amongst the men that have been occupied in the prophecies, that have acquired the wisdom of the ancient. Read on.
He will be there also.
He will be there also. Let's go to, I think, Sirach 8. I think we'll elaborate on that point. Yeah, Sirach 8:8. Read that.
Sirach chapter 8, verse 8.
This is going to explain where it says, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. Read that.
Despise not the discourse of the wise.
Despise not the discourse of the wise. Every time that you're around wise men, wise women, it's not always going to be precepts coming out. Sometimes it's just discourse that you'll learn from. How you handle a situation. How you handle a Edomite on the job. It wasn't a precept for it. It was just some wisdom on how to deal with the situation. How to deal with spousal matters, your children, right? Of course, there's scriptures that back it, but just in conversation, you're going to learn things from being occupied in the parables of these wise men. Read on.
But acquaint thyself with their proverbs.
Acquaint thyself with their proverbs. Now, we had some mighty forefathers that gave us many wise proverbs, like King Solomon, like King David, like Sirach here. Read on.
For of them thou shalt learn instruction.
And that's how we're going to learn our instruction, by not despising the discourse of the wise and acquainting ourselves with their proverbs. Read.
And how to serve great men with ease.
And how to serve great men with ease. You want to pick it back up, okay?
Right. So a good example of that is Joshua and Moses. Joshua and Moses. Yeah. Let's get Sirach chapter. Go back to Sirach chapter 39.
Sirach chapter 39, verse 1.
Come on.
But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High,
Come on.
and is occupied in the meditation thereof,
Uh-huh.
will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient,
Right. Go ahead.
and be occupied in prophecies. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men.
Uh-huh.
And where subtle parables are, he will be there also. He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables.
He will be conversing in dark parables, meaning those things that some men can understand. He'll be able to converse those. He'll be able to communicate those to other men. Sirach chapter 33. Sirach chapter 33. I don't have it written down.
Sirach chapter 33, verse 16. I awaked up last of all, as one that gathereth after the great gatherers. But the blessing of the Lord I profited.
Jump to 17.
Verse 17. Consider
There we go.
that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning.
That's what it means for you to study, for you to be conversant in the dark parables, meaning all of us that's up in here, everything that we're supposed to be doing is to rebuild the nation. The nation going to come in, they're going to be sick. They're going to have various issues going on with them. And we're going to have to be conversing and give them that understanding. Yo, I've been through that. I've been through this. And this is how you go through it. This is how you navigate it. This is how you come out on the other side as an Israelite and not let it destroy you. Go back to Sirach 39. Was we done in Sirach 33? I'm sorry. Was that all on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go back to Sirach 39.
Sirach chapter 39, verse 3.
Come on.
He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences.
Because he has to help his brother. He has to help his sister recognize and understand what it means to change his life or her life once they come in. Come on.
And be conversant in dark parables.
Come on.
He shall serve among great men.
He shall do what?
Serve among great men.
That's the precept for Sirach 8 and 8, what Officer Yehoshua went to. That was the precept for this. That was the precept. I'm going to tell y'all something else I see too. I'm going to tell y'all what else I see, especially with us, our people. I'm a grown-ass man. Or I'm a grown-ass woman. That's what we see. Can't nobody help me but me. Can't nobody help me but me. right? Can't nobody do nothing but me, right? Can't nobody correct me. I correct myself. This ain't that. This is not that. I'm telling y'all straight up, this ain't that. And I get it. There's a level that we all have to get to increase in the level that it takes for us to be disciplined more and more as we continue in this faith. But there's levels to this. And as we just read in Sirach chapter 8, verse 8, we cannot despise that. We cannot despise those corrections. We cannot despise that chastisement. We cannot, matter of fact, Hebrews 12. Hebrews 12, I'm sorry. Start at verse 6. I'm not there, so let me hear it.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6. For whom the Lord loveth,
come on,
he chasteneth.
He chasteneth. Who, raise your hand if the Lord done whooped your ass before. Now raise your hand if you know what his hand felt like. When he was spanking you, tell me what his hand felt like. What's the size of it? Is it saying big? Is it small? Is it, you see that? So where that chastisement come from? You see that? Read on.
And scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
Who the Lord done cussed out before? How deep was his voice? How powerful? Where was the sparks and the flame? The tempest, the lightnings. Where was that? That's what it means to scourge somebody. Come on.
And scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
Whom he receive, right? Come on.
If you endure chastening.
If you endure that chastening of the Lord.
God dealeth with you as with sons.
That's when the Most High dealing with you like his babies, like his sons, like his daughters. Read on.
For what son is he whom the father chasteneth not?
What son, what daughter is he that ain't got a daddy that care enough to correct them when they going off? That cares enough when they go on one way, he put them back on the path. And as we read in Jude earlier, sometimes you can do that with compassion. Sometimes you got to do that with fear, though. Right? Read on.
Verse 8. But if ye be without chastisement.
If you don't get that chastisement, right? Meaning you leave. You get chastised and you leave. You bounce. Or you stiffen your neck. Like we read about, what's that, Proverbs? The servant often chastised stiffens his neck, right? If you stiffen your neck, you are without that chastisement. It's go in one ear and out the other. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go again. Blah, Y'all know we got kids that, you know what I'm saying? They just, that one, they don't listen. That one. Go ahead, read on.
But if ye be without chastisement.
But if ye be without that chastisement, go ahead.
Whereof all are partakers.
All are partakers of the chastisement. All are. The only difference is you're going to come out on the other side a victor, or you're going to come out on the other side as a funky pile of dust, pile of ashes. That's the difference. We all got to go through it. Read on.
Then are ye bastards.
Then are ye bastards. If you leave, if you don't want to hear this blah, 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 in one ear, out the other, God ain't dealing with you. God ain't dealing with you. Read on.
And not sons.
Come on.
Verse 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us.
Everybody had fathers of the flesh. Now, whose father in the truth corrected them? Right. Right. And we dealt with it. We took it. We took it, ain't said nothing. They was wrong sometimes. They was this. They ain't know what they was doing. Some of us had abusive fathers. Some of us got our ass beat for nothing, like legit nothing, right? And we took it. That's my daddy. Love him. That's my father. And we took it. That's what he going into. That corrected us according to their flesh, their emotions. Even when you actually did something, most of the time you got a whooping because of their emotions. It wasn't because of what you did or to fix what you did. It was because they was mad as hell. And parents, y'all know what I'm talking about. We get mad as hell when the babies go off. That happens. But in this truth, we have guidance even in that. We got guidance in that. Right? Go ahead.
Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh,
Come on.
which corrected us, and we gave them reverence.
And we gave them reverence. We gave them reverence. So why does he go to talking about fathers in the flesh now? Because he's referring to the fathers that's going to chastise you in this truth, to keep you in the way that must give report on you. Even when Christ come, not just on the reports and, okay, get all the way up to the bishop and deacons. No. When Christ come, we got to give that same report. The same thing. Read that, finish that, and then get Hebrews 13:17, and we get back on track.
Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
Was that it?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. All right. Let's go back to Sirach. Was that where we was at? Sirach? Hebrews 13:17. I'm sorry. Let's get there real fast.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17.
Uh-huh.
Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls.
They watch for your souls. They watch for your souls. And for sometimes you don't always see what's in your soul. So sometimes, all the time, a good leader will see something in you that you need to fix that you probably don't even, it hasn't even registered to you yet. It's levels to this. Like we read about the dark sentences and prophecies in Sirach chapter 39, verse 1. It's levels to this. Everybody, give me Romans 14. Well, finish that, then get Romans 14 and 1. I just want to show y'all.
Obey them that have the rule over you.
Come on.
And submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give an account.
They that must give an account. Come on.
That they may do it with joy and not with grief.
Why? Because they don't want, the grief would be, that's why they had to be destroyed. That's why that happened. I tried, Father. I tried, Bishop. I tried, Captain. I tried, Deacon. You can't, and I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm going to tell you, just for your own conscience. Nobody wants to see anybody go. Nobody, it's not a pleasure for anybody to get put out. And I'm talking about across the board. And it's a fearful thing. It's a fearful thing to have to report that. Listen, they gotta go. What you mean they gotta go? Explain yourself. It's not just another one kicked out. Yeah, that's not how that goes. It's a very daunting conversation. Because when you out there, that's called giving you to Satan. And the hopes is that you be ashamed and correct whatever it is that you did as to why you fell off. Or you committed that sin that the Lord say, we can't deal with you. We can't fellowship with you. We can't keep company with you. But the fear is, I say, it's ain't nobody soft, but the fear is that you're not destroyed out there. That you're not just carried away in your sin. Now, it's enough work for us to forget you. Yeah, it is. You won't come back. You like, man, to hell with y'all. To hell with the Lord. Y'all ain't, okay, we're going to keep it pushing. We're going to keep moving. There's enough work to not sink into that missing you or what's going on with you. But listen, that's not a good conversation. That's what it means. Read that end part again. That they may do it with, as though they that must give account.
As they that must give account.
Come on.
That they may do it with joy and not with grief.
Not with grief.
For that is unprofitable for you.
That is unprofitable for you because that's called judgment. Remember, the Lord said, who you forgive, I forgive. What you bind on earth is bound also in heaven. All right. Drop that. Let's go back to, what did I say? Get Romans 14. I'm sorry. I got to show y'all there's levels to this. Romans 14. I'm going to go there with you this time. Go ahead.
Romans.
Verse 1.
Okay. Chapter 14, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Him that is weak in the faith, receive ye.
So it says him that is weak in the faith. Who think their faith is weak? Why you think your faith weak? What determines weak faith?
I would say doubt.
Doubt?
Sometimes, yes, sir.
Okay. So what did John the Baptist do when he was in prison? He asked the Lord, hey, apostles, go and ask Jesus if he's the guy. What did he do?
He was doubting.
Is your faith at the level of John the Baptist, who's the greatest man of ever born of woman? So what is a sign of weak faith? Officer Amir, what's a sign of weak faith?
Hey, Shalom. When you fall into the same thing and you ask, you go to the Father and ask for strength. So that's when you know, when you self-identify, 2 Corinthians 13:5, your own issues, and you ask for that strength.
No, that's faith. That is faith.
Okay.
That's faith.
Yeah, I say now, a sign of weak faith will be you starting not to come around as much as you did. You stop doing the work like you was saying earlier.
That's weak faith. That's weak faith, right? You don't have the strength to do all that is written therein, like we read about in Sirach 39:1. You don't understand the deep parables. You don't understand the deep doctrines, the mysteries, all of that, right? Not yet you don't. Not yet, right? But watch this. Read it again, and I'm going to show you that. And the point is levels to this. Because we all grown. Can't nobody tell me what to do, right? Watch this. Read.
Romans chapter 14, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Him that is weak in the faith, receive ye.
Still receive that brother. Still receive that sister. Receive them. Come on.
But not to doubtful disputation.
Not to dumbass doctrines that people will come with. Right? And I call it dumb because nothing's dumb if you just misunderstand and you're getting guidance or whatever. But what I mean by dumbass doctrines is, say somebody come in and they want to start what's the one that goes around? Multiple wives, right? So Solomon had multiple wives. Was he wicked? No, he wasn't wicked for having multiple wives. Well, why can't we have multiple wives? David had multiple wives. Why we can't have? Was he wicked? No, he was not wicked for having multiple wives. So why we can't have? That's a doubtful disputation, an argument, a dumbass argument. Go back out those doors until you're ready to get on board with what's going on in here. Receive those brothers and sisters that just don't understand as much as you understand yet. They're weak in the faith. Receive them, but not to arguments. Doubtful disputations. Read on.
Verse 2. For one believeth that he may eat all things.
Now this is an example, like multiple wives, right? One believeth that he may eat all things. All things.
Another who is weak.
Another who is what?
Who is weak.
Another who is weak. Weak. Go ahead.
Eateth herbs.
Only eat herbs. Man, you don't know where that meat came from. Our people ain't raised that stock. You don't know where that came from. You can't eat that. It's defiled. Only eat meat. Only eat herbs. We've heard it before. I got to address it many times. It's like a reoccurring thing, right? Some believe only eat herbs, only be a vegetarian. Go ahead.
Let not him that eateth.
Let him that eat the meat. Go ahead. Let not him that eat the meat. Go ahead.
Despise him that eateth not.
Don't let him that eat the meat despise. Understanding, it's all defiled. Ezekiel 4 told us that in captivity, ain't nothing going to be clean. Not nothing. That brother who is strong, who's learned in that, can't despise that brother or that sister that don't understand it yet. That's weak in the faith. Unless they start contending, Unless they start bucking, then they got to get the guillotine like anybody else. You know what I'm saying? They got to get chopped the hell up, turned into a sushi roll. You feel me? So but we can't have the mind that not to help the people, not to minister to the people, right? Read on.
And let not him which eateth not,
let not the vegetarian, go ahead,
judge him that eateth.
Judge, I'm better than you. Y'all know how vegans get down. Is there any vegans in here? Not anymore. This Sabbath it'll be. But but y'all know how, is it ta-ta, just is that meat ill? Get that away from my aura. Right? But that's what it means. Don't let them judge him that eateth the meat or the everything. Go ahead.
For God hath received him.
But for God hath received that brother or that sister that's still a little bit weaker than everybody else. God received them. God received that brother or sister that is stronger in the faith, that does understand it's all defiled. God received both of them. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Who art thou that judgeth another man's servant?
Come on.
To his own master he standeth or falleth.
To Christ he standeth or falleth, right? That's Christ is addressing this so that we don't get too big-headed. So we don't think to ourselves, I'm better than you because I already went through what you're going through. Or I forgot when I went through what you're going through. I know this and I know that. I got 10,000 precepts for anything that you say out your mouth right now. Knowledge puffeth up, right? So this is what Christ is addressing here. Who is he that judges another man? Who are you to judge another man's servant? To his master he standeth or falleth. He does well or does not. Go ahead.
Yea, he shall be holden up, for God is able to make him stand.
He shall be holding up, for God is able to make him stand, just like you. All right, let's go back. Just wanted to address that as levels to this, because we grown. Everybody grown. Yes, sir, you got a question? Yes, sir.
Just real quick, Cap. That last part, for God is able to make him stand, meaning give him the faith that he needs or strengthen him.
Yep. Give him whatever the understanding that he lacked, the you know what I mean? The belief, whatever. Go back to Sirach 39, verse 1. Read it again.
Sirach, chapter 39, verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient.
Come on.
And be occupied in prophecies.
Come on.
He will keep the sayings of the renowned men. And where subtle parables are, he will be there also.
He will be there also. He will be there also. That's how you strengthen your faith. That's why the bishops say study, pray, apply. Study, pray, apply. Read 4 chapters a day. That's what it's for. Without it, you're not going to, your belief is based on what you see in another man. You're like, oh man, he's able to go and guillotine somebody. So you'll study him teaching another brother on the street, and that'll be the base of your knowledge, your understanding. You don't open the scriptures. You don't look, what does that mean? Hold on. I remember this chapter said boom, boom, boom. And without reading the Bible, how do you know to go back? I saw that before. I think Ezra said that. No, wait a minute. No. It was Job. He had said that. How do you know that except you read it? How can you study except you're watching this brother and then watch another brother, or you Google YouTube IUIC multiple wives, IUIC vegetarian. And that's fine to study like that, but that should just be a tool. A tool. Y'all understand what I'm saying? You got to read it for yourself. You got to read the Bible. Give yourself a base, a foundation to say, no, I saw that before. I saw that. Where did I see that? Oh, I think it was boom. No, it was over here. No, it was over here. And get by precept, you understand those dark sentences, those secrets of the Bibles, those prophecies, right? Go ahead.
Verse 3. He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences.
Come on.
And be conversant in dark parables.
And he will begin and be able to teach, be conversant in the things of this Bible that are too hard for those that are weak in the faith. He will be able to convey, to communicate, understanding what to do, what not to do. What he's able to see in you that you don't yet see yourself. Read on.
He shall serve among great men.
He shall serve among great men. He will be among leadership. Come on.
And appear before princes. He will
princes meaning priests, meaning leaders. Come on.
He will travel through strange countries.
Come on.
For he have tried the good and the evil among men.
He have tried the good. He done been in many battles. He's been warred. He has learned, and what does it say? The Lord has taught his hands to war. Come on.
Verse 5. He will give his heart to resort early to the Lord that made him, and will pray before the Most High.
So he will study, meaning give his heart early to the Lord that made him, and will pray before the Most High. Study, pray. Go ahead.
And will open his mouth in prayer.
And go ahead.
And make supplication for his sins.
Come on.
When the great Lord will, he shall be filled with the spirit of understanding.
When the great Lord will, based on him studying, praying, the Lord will give him how to apply. The Lord will give him understanding that, okay, based on those things that you read, this is what it means. Y'all ever been to study something, y'all just been sitting up, driving down the road or something, you're like, oh, yo. Talking to a brother or something, hey, Cap, hey, I was at the Dairy Queen the other day, man. I was fiending for vanilla. You like, you know what I'm saying? It just hit then. Vanilla ain't got nothing to do with the Bible, right? Dairy Queen ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. But everything, about everything, always, you don't know when the Lord gonna make it hit for you. You don't know. But as long as it is that you've studied, you're praying, you're giving your mind and your spirit over to know, to understand, or to seek, right, the Lord, he's going to give it in his time. He's going to give it to you, the understanding, how to move, how to apply, how to live the things that you're studying. Go ahead.
He shall pour out wise sentences and give thanks unto the Lord in his prayer. He shall direct his counsel and knowledge, and in his secrets shall he meditate.
Come on.
He shall shew forth that which he hath learned, and shall glory in the law of the covenant of the Lord. Many shall commend his, many shall commend.
Many shall compliment him. Go ahead.
His understanding.
Or her, their understanding. This brother, this sister is wise as hell. This brother, this sister understands so much, right? Go ahead.
And so long as the world endureth, it shall not be blotted out. His memorial shall not depart away, and his name shall live from generation to generation.
Go ahead.
Nations shall shew forth his wisdom, and the congregation shall declare his praise. If he die, he shall leave a greater name than 1,000, and if he live, he shall increase it. Yet have I more to say, which I have thought upon, for I am filled as the moon at the full.
All right. Let's get. You can read on. Let me find this.
Verse 13. Hearken unto me, ye holy children, and bud forth as a rose growing by the brook of the field. And give ye a sweet savor as frankincense, and flourish as a lily. Send forth a smell, and sing a song of praise. Bless the Lord in all his works. Magnify his name, and shew forth his praise with the songs of your lips, and with harps, and in praising him ye shall say after this manner, all the works of the Lord are exceeding good, and whatsoever he commandeth shall be accomplished in due season.
All praises, all praises. Jump back to chapter 38 and start at verse 19. Watch this.
Sirach, chapter 38, verse 19. In affliction also sorrow remaineth.
Right.
And the
in
light.
affliction also sorrow remaineth. So a lot of times when when we have to counsel brothers and sisters, it comes to the point where like you got to get an understanding of what's going on with them, right? Especially as it pertains to their dealings or their dynamic with them and their brother, with them and their sister, right? And what they disclose most often is that they're not operating under what has been learned here. And that's normal because we are, like the scriptures say, but of yesterday. Meaning we are a compilation, and our actions are typically a compilation of your experiences, right? So when somebody swing on you, what do? You swing back. That's a compilation. So when Christ said, turn the other cheek, things like that, I'm not saying let somebody steal on you, but I'm just, as an example, that's why Christ had to tell us and teach us that principle. No. You ain't taking it ain't no eye for an eye, because what's natural in you is eye for an eye. So Christ had to tell us the contrary, that something that's not is different than you. It's different than your experience. But our dynamic and our actions, our reflexes, our resolves, our mindset is based on what happened to us. A lot of us raise children. We say, my mama beat my ass with an extension cord, so my kids won't get beat with an extension cord, right? A lot of us say, like, I'm going to tell y'all something my father said. He said, y'all can't have, sometimes y'all got to catch the bus so that y'all will understand, what did he say? So you understand how I feel, right? And in my mind, even as a child, I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I don't understand that, right? So my children don't never catch no bus. Like, it'll never happen, right? That's my mindset. I can suffer. So what's the point of me doing better than that if it ain't theirs, if it ain't to benefit them, and then they do the same thing? That's called progression. Not stay in the same spot. I was poor, so I want you to feel it too. The hell? Huh? That don't make sense to me, right? Love my father. I love him to death. He did the best he could with me, but that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, right? So, and that's what sets us back. But it's based on us dealing with each other by our experiences. When I was a kid, I had to catch the bus, so you gonna catch the bus too. I get what you're trying to do. I understand the sentiment, but that is stupid. That is, right? We can't get nowhere if we all got to go through the same thing over and over again. We all got to start over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. But when we deal with each other, a lot of times we step outside of what the Lord taught us, and we just dealing with each other based on our experiences. And that's why we still staying at that same spot, no progression. When somebody do this, this is what I do. I'm like this, man, and this how I am, and I feel like, and I do this, man. When somebody, they know not to. That's how a lot of conversations be going. Y'all understand what I'm talking about? That's how a lot of conversations be going. And in that mindset, we cannot grow. We can't grow. All right? Leave that right there, but don't forget that point. We're going to come back to it perhaps. Go ahead.
In affliction also, sorrow remaineth.
So in affliction, sorrow remaineth. We're going to deal with situations based on we still remember the affliction that we went through. So when it comes up later in life, though it's 40 years behind us, we still butt of our experience. That's all we are. We're butt of yesterday. Go ahead.
And the life of the poor is the curse of the heart.
And the life of the poor is the curse of the heart. They sad, they down, and the affliction that they went through and the experiences they had is what they're going to relive and regurgitate and recycle, except they have the wisdom of God, except they leave off from the nonsense, from the carnal way we grew up and came up, the hood and the poverty and the affliction and the evil and all of that. We gonna stay exactly where we at, even up in here. Read on.
Verse 20. Take no heaviness to heart.
Come on.
Drive it away.
Read.
And remember the last end.
Remember everything that you do. Everything you do. It's adding up to whether you live or you die. It's all written down. That's why the Lord says, remember the last end. Whatever it is that you do, If it's the kingdom of heaven you want, whatever you do, whatever you say, whatever you think, whatever, make it an investment for that. If your goal is to see them nukes, you know, you want to see them things. You want to feel that heat that's different. It ain't like no other heat you ever felt. It ain't like the iron. It ain't like the skillet. It ain't like the eye on the stove. Oh, it's a different heat. If you want to feel that, if you interested, you know what I'm saying, then, hey, you going to do what adds up to that end. But remember the last end. Come on.
Verse 21. Forget it not, for there is no turning again.
Everything you do is written down. It's written down. There is no turning again.
Thou shalt not do him good, but hurt thyself.
You're only going to hurt yourself in everything you do if that's what you're building up to, if that's what you're investing in. Like Christ said, we say, build ye up treasures in heaven. Meaning what you do, make sure it's adding up to the kingdom of heaven. It's all written. All the thoughts, all the words, all the doings, it's all written down. Go ahead.
Remember my judgment, for thine also shall be so. Yesterday for me, and today for thee.
Yesterday for me and today for thee. Meaning, what you see somebody go through, learn from it. Don't do it. With a more experienced or greater in faith brother or sister teach you, learn from it. Don't do it. They don't know nothing. I know they fell to it, but I won't fall to it. I'm strong and I can play with the devil a little bit more than they can. I can do that. No, learn from it. Learn from it. Don't do it. Go ahead.
Verse 23. When the dead is at rest.
Jump down. I'm sorry. Jump down to verse 25. Watch this. 24. I'm sorry.
Verse 24. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure.
Cometh by opportunity. So the wisdom of a learned man come from opportunity of leisure. You know what this society teaches us? Especially black folks. Especially black folks. Especially black folks. A lot of people think that you ain't doing nothing unless you hustling. That's our people. You got Andrew Tate. He talks like that. That's our brother, but he talks like that. Oh, you sitting around. You're not training. You're not doing. I get if what you're doing is you getting up with the brothers, the sisters. You studying. You doing something effective to the kingdom of heaven coming. I get that. I get that. That's not what the Lord is talking about. What the Lord is talking about is things of this world, things of this life. So the leisure would be what we're doing right now. Things that do not apply to the captivity that you're subject to. This is the leisure thing. Those that give their mind, wisdom cometh by opportunity of this. Of this. Andrew Tate, he says, if you're not doing, if you're just sitting, if you're not rich, what did he say? If you're not rich, then you're either stupid or lazy. That's what he said. If you're not a millionaire, you're stupid or lazy. And that's the mindset. I bring him up because that's the mindset that a lot of our people have. And it's wrong. It's wrong. Chasing riches in this life is enmity with God. God hates you. How many of us don't know that you'd be wealthier had you not had the Sabbath that you can't work? You can work on the Sabbath. You can work on the feast days. You can work on all the Sabbaths of the Lord. You can do all of that. Of course, you'd have more money. You'd have more wealth. You'd have more power in this world. Of course. But God say, don't do it. Do this instead. And that's why he called you rich in Revelations. You don't do that, so your riches is in the kingdom of heaven. That's beyond the wealth of this captivity that's a damn what Kanye say? Chains. Like when they took that money, he said, "I'm free." Y'all remember that? Who seen that? Y'all don't know what I'm talking about? That's what Kanye said. They took all that money. We like, damn, he lost all that. Yo, they punishing Kanye. They punishing Ye. He said, "I'm free." We didn't understand it. We like, shit, you could have gave it to me if you felt like that. That's how we felt. But he like, "I'm free." And I thought about that. I said, damn, those is chains. Those is chains. That's why Solomon, the king, he even said, give me not, get it for me real quick. 2 Kings. 1 Kings, I'm sorry.
1 Kings, chapter 3, verse 9. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people?
Read.
And the speech pleased the Lord.
And the speech pleased the Lord, right? Watch this.
That Solomon had asked this thing.
This thing being what? That wisdom. This is why we're here. He asked for why we are. Remember he said in James, you ask, but you ask amiss. You praying for stuff. What they got to do? I ain't got nothing to do with that. You praying for me to give you the devil? What the hell? That's what a lot of us be doing. You praying for me to destroy you? You praying for me to give you an idol? You praying for me to take away from you what you need to live? That's what he said. That's what he meant when he said you ask, but you ask amiss. So Solomon here, he asked for wisdom. For wisdom. Not only wisdom that he would be rule over everybody, no, that he could judge his people. Show them how they doing wrong so that they can do right. Read on.
Verse 11. And God said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life.
Come on.
Neither hast asked riches for thyself.
Come on.
Nor hast asked the life of thine enemies.
Come on.
But has asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment.
Come on.
Behold, I have done according to thy words.
Read.
Lo, I have given thee a wise and understanding heart.
Come on.
So that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee.
And that's heavy. That's heavy. A lot of us don't, especially in this society, we don't, that's another level of faith. That's enough to ask that in the midst of oppression is another level of faith. That's another level of faith. He asked for the wisdom to be a servant, not a ruler. A wisdom to save, to minister to his people, not to rule over them. That's what he asked. And the Lord already said to us, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, right? And all these things will be added unto you. He told us, meditate in the laws day and night, that thou mayest observe to do all that is written therein, and then thou shalt have great success. He already told us that. Solomon understood that. He understand to get the riches ain't that I need the wisdom. That's the mission. That's the vision. The wisdom. My people. The Lord's people. To hell with the money will come. All that success will come. The Lord gonna feed me. Lest the birds got more faith than us. Like Christ addressed in Matthew chapter 6, right? Go back to where we was. That's a heavy point, man. That's a heavy point. Yeah, Sirach 38.
Sirach chapter 38, verse 24.
Yeah.
The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure. And he that hath little business
Little what?
Little business.
Hold on, but you gotta hustle hard. You gotta hustle hard. I used to have that mindset. I used to have that because it's all around you. It's in the music. It's in the what do you call it? The societal standards. It's all around us. You immersed in nothing but being a drone to keep this kingdom strong. And if you ain't doing that, you lost. You just don't know what to do. Just like when we were slaves. Just like when slavery just ended and the black codes were instituted. Oh, you niggas standing around. Oh, y'all got time to drink, sip on some tea? Lock that nigga up and put him, lease him. What's it called? Lease. What's it called? Convent. No, it's called. Yeah, that's what it is. Modern, but back in the day, it was called the vagrant Vagrancy laws, but what was it's called labor leasing. It ain't that deep. Labor leasing, or what was the other word you used? Convict leasing, which meant slavery. Get your ass right back on the plantation. And this time, Abraham Lincoln ain't gonna save you niggas. You did this to yourself. You earned it. You want to sip tea, huh? You niggas, we freed you to sip tea? Get your ass back on the plantation. And guess who signed on that Black Codes law? Abraham Lincoln and all his people. Come on, let's go back to where we was.
And he that have little business,
Come on,
shall become wise.
Uh-huh.
How can he get wisdom?
How can you get wisdom? Come on.
That holdeth the plow.
That's always working. Oh man, I gotta work. Oh man, I can't because I can't tonight because if I can't today because I can't today. I can't right now. I can't. But when the Lord comes, for some reason, we think we're going to be called. We think we're going up. We think that we're going to be saved with that strange salvation. Like the brothers and sisters that put their faith in serving the Lord. And allowing the Lord to supply us with everything that we need. Not asking for riches, not chasing for riches, not serving riches, but serving the Lord, chasing the Father, seeking his face, building this kingdom. And waiting for him to reward us with success, like he promised from the beginning. Like he already said, like all the examples of all the richest men to ever walk the face of this earth. Who willing to say they don't believe the Bible? I don't believe in God. But how many of us got that faith? Now, when you see me, it's going to be in the house of the Lord. When you see me, it's going to be about the Lord. When you see me, it's going to be with the people of the Lord. When you see me, it's all about this truth. That's another level. Read on.
How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow?
Come on.
And that glorieth in the gold.
That glorieth in the gold. A lot of people take pride in how good their job is. Who the hell? My master is amazing. You ain't got no master like my master. What about you? I bet money your master ain't as good as my master. Bet whatever on it. Matter of fact, I'm better than you because of my master. Read it again. Go ahead.
On that glory in the gold part, it show you how deeply rooted that spirit is in your subconscious, even to the point where their jokes are still about making money. And I'll give y'all an example. So Officer Adriel, he was at my house picking something up. And it's a neighbor in my neighborhood that does similar work as me, cutting grass, whatever, right? He drives by. He stops the truck. Hey, man, what you doing out here, man? It's too much money out here, man. You supposed to be working, man. You ain't supposed to be standing in the yard. I'm over here looking at Adriel like, I ain't thinking about no damn work, man. You know what I mean? That's the last thing my mind is on. Once my bills is paid, I ain't thinking about work until another bill show up, to be honest with you. But our jokes, we joke, and we bring up the scriptures in our jokes because of the spirit that we dealing with. Because I don't glory in the gold. The joke that I got between me and my brother ain't about going to work. But these brothers right here in Sirach, that glory in the gold, that's maintaining the state of this world, they working, and even when they ain't working, they joking about working. So we can't follow that example.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The mind is occupied where we're supposed to be in the law. Nope, it's in the gold. Full blown. But nobody, peep game, nobody's willing to say, I just want to go to hell. No, I don't believe this. I hate God. I hate that. I can't stand him. Nobody talks like that. Nobody say stuff like that. But ain't nobody want nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with him. But swear, I'm going to heaven, right? got a good heart. God know my heart, right? I promised I'm going to keep it in here, though. Okay, so I wear these fringes, right? Sisters, I put on a dress. I cover my head up when niggas reading Bible. No, when brothers reading the Bible. I cover my head up. I do all that. I do all of that. But in my mind, I'm glorious. I'm most glorious in the gold, behind the plow, meaning working. And that's the device of Satan. Remember, when the same time that the women put pants on, they were also introduced to the Industrial Revolution as laborers. As laborers with promise of making the same wage as the men. Y'all think that's coincidence? Isn't that suspicious? Isn't that suspicious? Isn't that Uh-oh. All right, so this is Deacon. He said I found some expensive hotels. All right. Where we at? Read on.
How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow?
Mm-hmm. Some people think it's just osmosis. It just comes. Hey man, how you study, man? I read the Bible. I read the Bible over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I will annoy you with how much, right? It ain't no secrets to that. Everybody asks that. I know some of you brothers have been here a long time. Everybody asks that question. How do you study? Like, what's the secret to studying? What's the secret? This entire night we've been reading the secret. Meditate therein day and night. Everything else should be an interruption. Everything else. While you at work, you thinking on the scriptures. You got that report from? Oh, I forgot. Okay, I'm on it. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Whatever. That's how. And the mind of an Israelite should be. Everything else is an interruption. Everything we do is to build up the walls of the nation of Israel. Rebuild the walls of the nation of Israel. Everything we do. I'm only here so that I can get there. I'm only here so that we can give alms. I'm only here so that I got time to go and build up the nation. I'm only here because I have to build up because we got to build up the nation. That's how we should think. Not I'm here, but then I know after I leave here, I'm gonna have to go to that building or go to that place and do the thing the officer or sister so and so asked me to do and this and that. That shouldn't be our mindset, but it is. It is. The Most High get with the leftovers. Esau get the best of us. The best of us. You wake up for them, you go to sleep because of them. So that you got enough. Remember we talked about with the slavery earlier? You get your ass beat all damn day. And then he tell you when you can go to sleep. And you do it to the best of your ability to get your ass up and get beat again. Real good for him. You wake up for him, you go to sleep for him. Your mind is not occupied in the laws of God. They're occupied in Esau. And the Most High God interrupts you when you come around Israelites. He interrupts your chain of thought with it. I gotta go. What time is it? Okay, all right. Yeah, no, shalom. That we talking about. What time is it? All right. Yeah, it's about that time. It's about no work. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about, brothers getting uncomfortable now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know, remember, there is no returning again. Your investment is for the kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of the devil, which he's going to evaporate when he comes. It's that simple. Read on. Let's finish this so we can close out.
How can he get wisdom?
All right, go ahead.
How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow?
Come on.
And that glorieth in the goad, that driveth oxen, and is occupied in their labors, and whose talk is of bullocks.
Hold on. That's the conversation. And a lot of people don't know it. A lot of people don't know it. Some people you got to cut off after the Sabbath. Right, I understand. Yeah, after right. We talk after the Sabbath, though. And it shouldn't even be after the Sabbath. But that's what you got to say to some people. You know what I'm talking about? That you just got to cut it off like that. Go ahead.
Right. But we had rich forefathers, right? So somebody might be like, well, Abraham was rich, right?
He ain't start that way.
What about him? You know what I mean? Shouldn't I be laboring to be like Abraham? Solomon was rich. Shouldn't I be laboring to be like Solomon? Let's get something real quick. Go to Sirach 44. Give me verse 4 through 6.
Sirach, chapter 44, verse 4. Leaders of the people, by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning, meet for the people.
These are all of our famous forefathers that begat us, according to verse 1. Read.
Wise and eloquent in their instructions.
So these men were wise and eloquent in their instructions. Do you think they got wise and eloquent in their instructions by always talking about work? Nah. Keep reading.
Such as found out musical tunes.
How they gonna write music if they always thinking about work? Their music would have been about work, right? But nah, their music wasn't about work. King David's music wasn't about work. It was about the everlasting kingdom to come in the future. It was about destruction of the enemy. It was about prophecies of Christ. Christ himself was speaking through King David on multiple times. Read on.
And recited verses in writing.
Read.
Rich men.
What kind of men?
Rich men. Furnished with ability, living peaceably in their habitations.
Rich men furnished with ability. What kind of riches are going to furnish you with ability? Now, were they rich in, physical possessions? Yeah, but let's get something real quick. Give me Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 5.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 5. If riches be a possession to be desired in this life, which is richer than wisdom?
What's what?
What is richer than wisdom?
What is richer than wisdom? So the scripture's telling us that no matter how many riches you acquire in this earth, the riches that's more important, that's more richer than carnal riches, is wisdom. And how you going to get that? By being occupied in the prophecies and all the wisdom of the ancient, not despising the discourse of the elders, by having opportunity of leisure to get your spirit built up, by not always talking about work. That's how you get the true riches. All right?
Just want to finish that?
Yeah, go ahead, finish.
If riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom that worketh all things?
All right, all praise it. Let's go back. Sirach 30. Where was you at? Verse 25. Read that again.
Sirach, chapter 38, verse 25.
Come on.
How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow, and that glorieth in the goad, that driveth oxen, and is occupied in their labors,
Come on.
and whose talk is of bullocks?
Who is that? So remember, the Lord said that the Lord said the righteous is going to be occupied in what? Prophecies, right? He says, God said for us to meditate day and night, right? That we may observe to do all that is written therein, right? That's the righteous. So what is him who's glorieth in the gold, holdeth the plow, and is occupied in their labors and talks of their labors, talks of work? What are those? Unrighteous. That's what that is. This here, the kingdom of heaven, like Christ said, it don't happen with osmosis. Your wisdom and understanding, it does not happen with osmosis. Yes, sir.
Shalom leadership. Is that going into covetousness too?
Hell yeah. Because that's what that listen is. If you know, and I tell y'all this all the time, this Bible ain't talking about people that's outside the truth. It's not. You understand? This is brothers and sisters before we fell away from understanding that we Israelites. We all knew we was Israelites and what that meant. We got laws, we got commandments, we got precepts, right? So brothers and sisters living like this, right? Understand plainly, it's not what our history, our customs, our culture is, right? However, when you go through captivity and you broken down and you beaten down, you begin to see the people who did that to you as what is glorious, what is good. They got a big house, right? They got the nice car. They don't pay the bills, right? They don't have to worry about bills, right? We take care of everything for them. So those things, the means to live like them is what you covet, right? But the means to the way that we ascertain or get those things is by that labor that they hold us to. So we begin to love them and what they've done to us and do to us. You understand? That's how that happens. Just like when we was in Egypt, how the hell we got on skirts now too? When we came out, Moses had to tell it, y'all don't do after the doings of Egypt, because we started to look, yo, they doing good. They doing good. I want to do that. I want the little ponytail on the side with no hair nowhere else. I want that. I want that. That's what I want. You know what I mean? That means you somebody, right? Now you got Negroes, look down on you because you ain't wearing a tie. Your shirt ain't tucked in, so this little nigga, you know what I'm saying? This gangster, this thug, he's gonna rob me. You understand? Y'all understand what I'm saying? So it's these certain things that we see in the other nations, our oppressors, and we covet after all of that. After all of that. That's why the Lord had to tell us, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. That's why. That's a natural course. Not to say we shouldn't overcome that or because we should. We shouldn't be, we're not natural men. We're not natural women. Right? But let's go back. But you're absolutely right. That's covetousness, right? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Verse 26.
Yes, sir.
Verse 26. He giveth his mind to make furrows.
So he know how to make the best furrow. He gave his mind to that. He got those precepts. He got that wisdom. He's conversing in those things, instructions, right? Go ahead.
And is diligent to give the kind fodder.
And is diligent to give the kind fodder, meaning he beat the hell out this. Remember what the Lord say, a righteous man is merciful to his what? To his beast. To his beast. He said he quick to give his kind fodder. He dumb as hell. He don't know that precept. He don't know this. Just like, for instance, taking care of a car will last you. You'll have the car longer. It costs to take care of the car, though. But it costs more to lose it and have to get it again. But if you just your mindset is on money. No, I'll wait 4 months before I get an oil change. Somebody like, wait, don't do that. Wait, yeah, don't do that, right? I'll tires ball. You see the wires on the joint. I get it if we don't got the money, but I'm talking about you got the money. You just trying to. I'm gonna wait. I know people like that. I'm going to say, I got it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to say, okay, all right, that tire pop, you and the family might do some revolutions in that thing. You feel me? Then it's going to be all bad. You have medical bills, car bill. You're going to have a whole lot more to pay for. But that's our mindset, right? And that's the equivalent of you beat the hell out your fodder. I mean, your kind. Beat the hell out of them. Work. Won't take care of them. You don't got that wisdom to. Your only concern is the work. You would destroy every life around you to accomplish the work. Read on.
Verse 27.
Uh-huh.
So every carpenter
Come on.
and workmaster that laboreth night and day
Night and day. What did the Lord say we supposed to do night and day? Meditate on the laws, that we may observe to do them, meaning that's how you will be able to do the laws, if you're meditating day and night on them. If you're not doing that, are you keeping the laws? No. You're the damn devil walking around and don't even know it. You think you God's gift to righteousness. No, you the devil. Read on.
And they that cut and grave seals and are diligent to make great variety.
Come on.
And give themselves to counterfeit imagery.
Come on, meaning idols. Go ahead.
And watch to finish a work.
Come on.
The smith also sitting at the anvil.
Come on.
And considering the iron work.
We're going to do a lot of reading because we're going to read all the way down to the last verse.
The vapor of the fire wasteth his flesh.
Come on. It wasteth his flesh. Like, what is that talking about? Welding. What does welding do to your flesh? Who knows about welding? Google the dangers of welding real quick. I'm going to show y'all something. This Bible ain't no joke. Ain't nobody welded? Ain't nobody ever welded in here? Damn. Nobody? It destroys your eyes and your skin. It destroys you. You can go bald too from the vapors. Yeah. The dangers of it say electric shock. It's more to it than that, bro. Electric, yeah, and it will shock the hell out you. I don't know. Well, y'all, nobody ever welded. But sometimes you can be so occupied in the work, you can be holding something and you too close to the arc. You're going to feel that thing. It's like getting tased. Yeah, you're going to feel it. All right, so let's just get the list of them real quick. Go down. Go down, go down, go down. Right there. Waters are exposed to dangerous fumes and gases, like we just read here. Read it again. The vapor.
Yes, sir. And are diligent to make great variety and give themselves to counterfeit imagery.
Verse 28.
Verse 28. The smith also sitting by the anvil and considering the iron work.
Come on.
The vapor of the fire wasteth his flesh.
It kills you. It kills you. That's why when you go to the shipyard to do that, they equipped you with a respirator, a face mask, because it's destroyed. And that still doesn't 100% protect you from that. It still kills you. You're dying from that. A lot of them got cancer right now. They lived and they retired from doing that, and they now have cancer. Mesothelioma, all those things. They got a whole class action lawsuits about jobs. Read on.
The vapor of the fire wasteth his flesh.
Come on.
And he fighteth with the heat of the furnace.
Uh-huh.
The noise of the hammer and the anvil is ever in his ears.
What is that doing to your ears? Destroying your ears. Exposure to high temperatures. Look at that. Asthma, allergies. That's from the vapors that you inhaling nonstop, even with the mask.
Hey, Cap. This verse sound like it's just talking about shipyard workers. And
Don't it? Brother's like, man, I'm quitting tomorrow.
All you hear is a grinder in your ear.
Yep, all day long. All day long. Not to mention that slave bell. God. If you ain't never heard that slave bell, that thing is scary.
And then
I said, is a hurricane? What's happening right now?
Right after that, you just see niggas running.
Yeah, niggas just run from everywhere. 5,000, 10,000 niggas just running. Traffic messed up immediately.
Somebody kicked the anthill.
Right. It's crazy. First time I seen that thing, I'm like, what the hell is, am I in danger? Like, because I'm chilling. Everybody else is not. I'm the only one sitting still. I was in the car waiting for a brother that used to be here. But anyway, where we at? Okay, so welders injured by electrocution, high exposure to high temperatures, right? Go down. Go down. Welders are at risk for burns from the sparks and flames. Go down. Welders are exposed to hazardous working environments. That's that the anvil, the entire thing we reading, right? But oh, that's a man up there. Yeah, that's a man. He alive, but he looked dead. He looked dead. He looked like he just up there. Hold, leave it there. Read on.
And his eyes look still upon the pattern of the thing that he maketh.
That's welding. What does that do to your eyes? Go down, go down, go down. I know it's going to list that in there. Physically damaging. Okay, hold it right there. Let me. On the back joints. Go down.
Welder's back be jacked up.
Yep.
They always leaning
There
over
it is.
trying to.
That got to be it right there. He looking good at that.
They be in
go
that
down.
position for like 10 hours straight, right?
Right. Watch this. Welding can cause blindness. A lot of us got uncles and grandfathers, fathers, perhaps they've been welding for a long time, and their eyes look light. Because that's what that comes from. That looking at that light all day long. Even with the shield on, right? Read it again.
And his eyes look still upon the pattern of the thing that he maketh. He setteth his mind to finish his work.
He set his mind if he focusing on that thing. Where you should be meditating. I'm not saying don't focus on your work, on your labor at your job or whatever. I'm not saying that, right? But it should be, nothing should be to the point where you forgot. Damn, I was where did I go just now? I'm an Israelite. Okay, like you got to remind yourself that you the righteous. You got to remind yourself that you know what I'm saying. Nothing on earth should take you away to that extent. Nothing. Read on.
He setteth his mind to finish his work.
Where you at?
Verse 28, the bottom.
All right, come on.
And watcheth to polish it perfectly.
Come on.
Verse 29. So doth the potter, sitting at his work, and turning the wheel about with his feet.
Now it's going into those that make pottery and things like that, right? Artificers and what have you. Artificers is a variety. So metal or the smith is a type of artificer. It's a few different types, right? This one is dealing with pottery. Go ahead.
Who is always carefully set at his work.
Come on.
And maketh all his work by number. He fashioneth the clay with his arm, and boweth down his strength before his feet.
Damn, boweth down his strength before his feet.
He applieth himself to lead.
Hold on, bro. Stay with me.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if I want to get into that part. Read on.
He applieth himself to lead it over, and he is diligent to make clean the furnace. All these trust to their hand.
It says all these trust to their hands. They have no trust in the Lord. Lord ain't going to provide for me. Lord ain't going to take care of me. Lord can't teach me nothing. The Lord ain't going. All of that stuff is a hobby. It's just what I do when I come around y'all. That's all. That's all. The wisdom that y'all taught, I can't use that out there. That's just for in here. That's how we talk to each other all that out there. Is what up, nigga? Y'all understand what I'm saying? He trusts in his hands, meaning the works of the world. Watch this.
And everyone is wise in his work.
And everyone is wise in his work. Not this work. His work. Come on.
Without these cannot a city be inhabited.
Hey, welcome to hell. You built it. Look around. Smell the beautiful smell of the hell that you made. Don't it feel good? Matter of fact, we done made this hell so strong. Baby say, yeah. We done made this hell so strong we can't get out of it. We done made this hell real good. It's a powerful hell. It's strong. It's tall buildings in this hell. It's feats of human strength, they call it, right? Of human capability that is our hell that we built. And even with this wisdom, we continue in that to refortify our hell. Make sure we never build the Lord's kingdom. Read on.
And they shall not dwell where they will.
And they shall not dwell where they will. Meaning you still just a nigga. At the end of your work shift, take your ass right back to the ghetto. Take your ass right back to being poor. Take your ass right back to you can't afford it. Take your ass right back to the captivity you came here in. You still ain't going to get what you, at the end of all of that, You still just a nigga here. Read.
Nor go up and down.
No, and on top of that, you cannot judge the people. That's what it means to go up and down. Deal with the Lord on behalf of your people. Judge your people. You still, hold on, let me get this straight. You ain't nobody here, and you ain't nobody there. That is crazy as hell. That is, what's the word? That is, to me, that is psychopathic. That makes no sense at all. That is bugged the hell out. That is crazy as hell. Read on.
Verse 33. They shall not be sought for in public council.
They shall not be sought for in public council.
Nor sit high in the congregation.
No, and on top, public council is going into out there. You're known for wisdom out there. Neither when you come in here will you be known for the same thing. This is crazy as hell, and we still choose captivity. We still do it. Like it makes us somebody, like it sets us on great authority. Don't be fooled by the, hey, good job. Good job, Tommy. You're going straight to the top. Please don't be fooled by that. God just said you ain't nobody there and you ain't nobody here. Read on.
They shall not sit on the judge's seat.
Come on.
Nor understand the sentence of judgment.
Nor understand the sentence of judgment. Nor understand the secrets of the Most High God.
They cannot declare justice and judgment.
They cannot declare. They don't know. You know what's scary about that? You know what's scary about that? Jump over 37 and verse 7. Watch this. What's scary about that? Watch this.
Sirach, chapter 37, verse 7.
Watch this.
Every counselor extolleth counsel.
Every counselor extolleth counsel. Come on.
But there is some that counseleth for himself.
All right, so the point is every counsel extolleth counsel. Y'all know what that means? Nehemiah.
Yes, sir. On every counsel extolleth counsel going into, you can get counsel from anybody.
Right. Nobody's going to say, I don't know. Everybody's going to have something to say. Hey, can you tell me how to fix my family? Can you tell me how to better my relationship with the brothers and sisters? Can you tell me how to? Nobody's going to be like, I don't know how to do that. Everybody's going to want to lead you and counsel you and tell you how to do it. That's some scary SH. Because not everybody fits the criteria we just read about. Not everybody can understand the secrets of the Most High, or is applying themselves to ascertain that ability. But everybody's going to have something for your problems. That is scary as hell. Beware. Read on. Go back to Sirach 38.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Sirach chapter 38, verse 33.
Come on.
They shall not be sought for in public council.
Come on.
Nor sit in the congregation. They shall not sit
nor sit high in the congregation.
Excuse me. They shall not be sought for in public council, nor sit high in the congregation.
So what is it saying? They'll be here. They got on fringes, ribbon of blue, head wraps, purple and gold, black and gold. They in here. This Bible is talking about people and only talking about us in here. It's our job to make sure we fit the right side of what we're reading about. Read on.
They shall not sit on the judge's seat.
Come on.
Nor understand the sentence of judgment. They cannot declare justice and judgment.
They can't declare it. That's some scary stuff. That is scary as hell. That is scary as hell because they still going to have something to tell you. Read on.
And they shall not be found where parables are spoken.
They shall not be found where parables are spoken. Where is parable spoken? Officer Yehoshua read it earlier. Nehemiah again. Oh, Amos has something. Let's hear Amos. I gave it to him really, but
Where the wise men are.
exactly. Exactly. Right? So let's get that again.
Sirach, chapter 44, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
Leaders of the people, by their counsels.
By their what?
By their counsels.
By their counsels. Those are the deep or dark sentences. Go ahead.
And by their knowledge of learning.
By their knowledge of learning. Watch this.
Meat for the people.
Are good for the people. They are good for the people. Read.
Wise and eloquent in their instruction.
Wise and eloquent in their instructions. Go back to Sirach 38.
Sirach, chapter 38, verse 33.
Come on.
They shall not be sought for in public counsel,
Come on.
nor sit high in the congregation. They shall not sit on the judge's seat,
Come on.
nor understand the sentence of judgments. They cannot declare justice and judgment.
Read.
And they shall not be found where parables are spoken.
Come on.
But they will maintain the state of the world.
All they will do is make this place stronger. This captivity will continue. It's strong. So a little bit decay, they the ones to build it back up. Square it back off, wipe the dust off, clean it up. Or put that brick is decaying, pull that out, put a new, fresh new brick in there. Good mortar, right? They will maintain this world, this place, and all the wisdom of it. Know everything about their job and very little about this Bible. Very little. Read.
And all their desire.
And all their what?
Their desire is in the work of their craft.
Wherever your desire is, right? Let's get Matthew's real quick, and we're going to close out with that. 6:21. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 21.
Read.
For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
So what are we talking about? Treasure. The Lord is addressing treasure. What's important to you? Come on.
The light of the body is the eye.
Uh-huh.
If therefore thine eye be single,
Uh-huh.
thy whole body shall be full of light.
Whatever it is that is your desire, that's where your wisdom will be. Whatever it is that is your desire, that's where your wisdom will be. You'll be wise in that. Like we just read about in Sirach. You will understand real good how to do that real good. Come on.
But if thine eye be evil,
If your eye be evil, if that singleness, if that light, if that wisdom, if that desire that you desire is evil, come on,
thy whole body shall be full of darkness.
shall be full of darkness, meaning wickedness, evil, sin, no light. That's what you're going to give your entire existence to, like we just read about in Sirach 38. Your entire body, you ain't just going to think on it, be real good in the mind, and be able to guide somebody, teach somebody, but be fully for the Lord. No. And then that's what a lot of people think. That's what Christ is addressing here. You good, you desire the work of your hands, then you're going to be good at it. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. You have all the wisdom for that job, for that profession, for that craft, or what the Lord call it, for that workmanship. You're gonna be the best at it. But as far as the Lord is concerned, I'll know. Read on.
If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness,
If that light is darkness, come on, meaning if it's evil, come on.
how great is that darkness?
How great is that darkness? Because some people think, it's just a little bit. I do a bit of this, and then I go and do a little bit of the truth. That's some of our mindset. Read on.
No man can serve two masters.
Now he's telling you the answer. Nobody can do what you think you're doing. Nobody can do that. Nobody can serve two masters. What was the curse for the woman? It wasn't really a curse. It was the way it was always supposed to be. So just blurt it out. No. No, I want what it said. I'll say that again and loud, bruh. Her desire shall be unto her husband. So whatever your desire is, that is your Lord. That is your Lord. That is your husband. That is your God. That's what Christ is telling us right now. That's what the wisdom of Sirach in the spirit of the Lord told us in Sirach 38. Their desire is in the work of the craft of their hands. That's what the Lord is telling us right now. Read it again.
No man can serve two masters.
You ain't going to be good at that and good at this too. Nobody can do that. Christ couldn't do that. That's why Christ was a what? Professionally. What was Christ professionally? A carpenter. Who did he work for? Himself. Which apostle worked for somebody? Worked for their kingdom. Worked for Rome. Worked for what was the other one? Thessalonica, Corinth. Which one of them worked for those kingdoms? None. Not one. Not one. Don't quit your job. I'm not saying that. But quit that damn mindset for sure. For sure. Yeah, I ain't paying nobody bills, bro. Don't quit. You said you're going to put bills in that arm. It's going to be.
Cap said quit.
Cap said quit. No, I ain't tell. No. However, your mindset must be on, this is a tool. Money, your job, it's a tool. You're doing everything that you do for the Lord, for the rebuilding of the kingdom of God. Everything. That's what I'm saying. Y'all understand that? That's why our examples, every single one of them, some of them had jobs before Christ called them. Before. When he called them,
Straight way.
Y'all understand that? All right. I'm just giving you Bible. All right. Was that it on that?
No, sir.
Go ahead, finish that.
For either he will hate the one.
You will hate the one, meaning I'm at work. God, I gotta leave early. This bullshit. I gotta. They gonna make me feel awkward if I leave because I gotta work in the morning, right? Y'all know what I'm talking. They gonna think everybody know what you. I don't know what you talking about. No, ain't nobody making you feel awkward. That's all in your conscience. Like, ain't nobody saying that to you.
Little brothers be going to dap up in the hallway.
Right.
Where you going? I got to work in the morning. Oh, no, I ain't dapping you up, man.
Damn. Now that'll make them feel. But with the Lord, read that again.
For either he will hate the one and love the other.
Now remember, he's talking about, he's addressing the two masters or desires. Desires, right? Go ahead.
Or else he will hold to the one and despise the other.
And despise the other. I'm doing this, but this is I hate doing this because I love doing that. I hate doing that because I love doing this. There is no 50-50. There is no you gonna love your job and love this too. Does not exist. Your job is slavery. You're in slavery. We've been taught, and over time we've began to. I'm proud. I got that good promotion. I'm proud of my job. I'm the best nigga they got. You become proud of that thing. You forgot they put you in slavery. You forgot that, and even if it wasn't them, because we'd be like, well, that ain't them, you know. Even if it wasn't them, whose kingdom are you maintaining? Is it the same kingdom that put you in slavery? Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's stronger now than it has ever been. And it's because of us. We did that. They didn't fortify their kingdom. We did. And we continue to. No matter what they do to us, no matter what they say to us, no matter what they put in place to keep and maintain our destruction, we love their kingdom. It feels so good.
One last line.
Go ahead.
Ye cannot serve God and mammon.
You cannot do it. Mammon is money, wealth, right? You cannot serve God and mammon. Was that it?
Yes, sir.
All right, all praise. So, family, I pray that you all are exhorted to stay strong in your spirit, not be offended in the Lord. We're going to go through more, and we're going to see brothers and sisters fall off, but be exhorted. All right? Have care one for another, have pity one for another, love one for another if you call yourself loving the Lord. All right? Without us, we all just going to fall away. Y'all understand what I'm saying? All right. Shalom, family. Most High in Christ bless.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example.